A developing story tonight from Power City. There's no new offer. ExxonMobil and union reps went back to the table today for the first time in weeks. But those talks appear to have ended with little progress. It's the latest setback for hundreds of union workers.
They've gone without paychecks for about 6 weeks. 12 News reporter Amelia White, live at 10, breaking down where things really stand.
Jordan Dage, the battle between ExxonMobil and the union has lasted longer than most expected. They met today, but from the looks of it, there wasn't much progress. Let's go all the way back to January 11th. That's when the conversations about contracts began. Fast forward to April 23rd, a notice of a lockout was given. What was at odds? Changes to member safety, security, and seniority. Then May 1st. That's the day that left hundreds of union workers upset, confused, and locked out of the plant.
But of course, both of us are working on issues, and we'll get back to the table and try to relay our membership's expectations as soon as possible.
That was Union Staff Representative Hoot Landry on May 3rd. On May 12th, both sides came to the table to negotiate. ExxonMobil presented a new deal that will last for 6 years through January 2027. This deal will eliminate senior bidding for jobs and provide refinery-specific wage increases. It also adopts other union-approved language for layoffs and onboarding. But still, both parties did not come to an agreement, so they gave it another try and met Thursday. ExxonMobil released a statement to 12 News saying the company continues to meet and bargain in good faith with the union. No additional proposals were exchanged in today's meeting with the union. The company's offer remains available at this time. 12 News reached out to the union for their reaction to the latest meeting, but they haven't shared anything. So still, no agreement as of right now, but ExxonMobil and the union will meet again next Thursday. I'm live in Beaumont. Amelia White, 12 News.
New at 10, a chase that started in Chambers County tonight came to a crashing end across the state line. Our 12 News cameras on scene there where the driver wrecked. Now, Vidor Police Chief Rod Carroll confirms this chase started in Chambers County when an officer pulled over a vehicle. The driver put up a struggle, which led to an arrest. But that's when the passenger, who was wanted for a murder in Louisiana, jumped into that driver's seat and took off. The chase continued all the way to Beaumont. Police lost the car for a bit, but a tow truck spotted the suspect crossing into Orange County, and cops caught up again. He crashed across the state line. We're working to find out who the man is and what case he's connected to.
Also new at 10, build the wall. That is the plan from Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Today in Del Rio, he announced plans for Texas to build its own border wall of sorts. The announcement coming during a summit on border security. Governor Abbott approved $1 billion toward border security. It's part of the new Texas budget. This on top of a disaster declaration he made for 34 border counties and the deployment of National Guard troops to the border.
One thing we know, and that is a border crisis is plaguing the farmers, the ranchers, the residents of the entire border region.
So Abbott blames the elimination of the Remain in Mexico policy for the spike in the number of people crossing. He plans to unveil details for the wall next week.
Also, new staying cool this summer may be a challenge. You've got to have air conditioning, but as the temperatures warm up, shortages could create problems. Air conditioning companies say if your home unit goes down, getting repairs may be a struggle. The pandemic has led to factories closing down, halting production. There's also a metal shortage, plus a labor shortage, which is also affecting shipping. And this isn't limited to Texas.
There's multiple reasons, and some of the raw material shortages like copper, steel, and aluminum. Some of it's transportation shortages, is getting equipment or materials to the factories. And then we had a huge demand last year while people were at home.
So to make things worse, low supply and high demand means high prices.
And boy, did we need the AC today. Heat indexes soared above 100, or at least right around 100 in southeast Texas as air temperatures hovered around 90 degrees. Yes, it's normal for June, but it's still quite uncomfortable. Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn joins us now from the Storm Tracker Center. And tomorrow you expect things to get even warmer.
Maybe a degree warmer. It doesn't make working outside any easier if you're cutting down trees, working on the roof, or just pushing the lawnmower. We expect the heat index to be triple digits the next 5 days. We may get a break with maybe some drier air mixing down from the upper levels of the atmosphere, should that high be strong enough. Otherwise, low, maybe mid-90s across the area. Otherwise, mostly clear skies out there right now. Nothing on radar. Temperatures are generally in the upper 70s to around 80, and that makes the heat index in spots in the mid-80s at this late hour. We'll fall to 75-ish, 6-ish by 6 a.m. and then warm right back up into the mid to upper 80s by 10 a.m. And it looks hot and dry across the area. Boy, we haven't been able to say that lately. Coming up Friday and Saturday, but scattered showers and storms return by Sunday. Details on that in just a few minutes.
Well, there's plenty of excitement tonight in Vidor. The district's finally moving on from the damage done by Harvey. The folks came together today, that is, to break ground on a new Vidor Middle School. Harvey destroyed that campus as well as Oak Forest Elementary. It's taken 3+ years to get the engines running and the funds to rebuild. Vidor ISD says it received nearly $19 million for that project. Students have been without regular classrooms since the storm.
Our 5th grade students are housed on our high school campus in portable buildings. Our 6th grade students are housed on our junior high campus in portable buildings, and those campuses are not near each other.
So 90% of the funds came from FEMA. The district is paying the additional from its fund balance. G&G Construction has already started rebuilding Oak Forest Elementary. The new designs lift the building 18 inches higher off the ground to protect against flooding.
A crime alert tonight. It's been nearly 3 years since Derek Kane was hit and killed while working on the back of a trash truck in Orange. Tonight, the driver police blame for that crash is back in jail. They say Valen Rose Falk had her bond revoked because she failed a drug test. She's charged with intoxication manslaughter in the 2018 death of Kane. She was free on bond, but had been ordered to wear a drug patch as a condition for her release. Recently, that patch tested positive for marijuana, so she's back in jail. She's scheduled for a pretrial hearing in July. Now, those that knew Kane said he was always singing, always happy, and just a great person to be around. Kane was a member of the 409 chapter of a music group in Silsbee. He was only 28.
In case you missed it, Texans on unemployment can no longer claim fear of COVID as an acceptable reason for turning down work. The state's unemployment agency is ending that exemption as of June 26th. That's also when out-of-work Texans will stop receiving an extra $300 in federal jobless benefits.
A woman and a toddler were killed in a shooting at a South Florida grocery store today. Police say the gunman shot the woman and the 23-month-old, who are related, before turning the gun on himself. Witnesses say they only heard 3 gunshots, but it was enough to spark panic throughout that store. Police don't have a motive.
Tonight, President Biden is in Cornwall, England, meeting with one of America's strongest allies. It's the first stop on his overseas trip to Europe. Tomorrow, he'll join other G7 leaders before continuing his trip with NATO members in Brussels. The tour is scheduled to wrap up with a highly anticipated meeting between the president and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Switzerland.
Employees of a Houston hospital have now filed a lawsuit. Hundreds of nurses, physicians, and workers across Houston Methodist refused to get the COVID vaccine, which led to suspension without pay. Well, today you can see folks came together to protest those suspensions. Some claim they felt forced to get the vaccine.
I feel like they kind of bullied us into this little corner, like you have to do it or else you don't have a job.
According to a memo, Houston Methodist Hospital CEO Mark Boom said almost 25,000 employees complied with the vaccination requirement. 285 received medical or religious exemptions, and another 332 were deferred for pregnancy or other reasons. Right now, there's a new sense of excitement on Pleasure Island. A weathered fishing pier and boat launch could soon be getting a facelift.
And that is thanks to grants from Texas Parks and Wildlife, as well as some money from the city of Port Arthur. The state's chipping in $110,000 to restore the fishing pier, boat launch, and parking lot area on Pleasure Island. That work should be finished within the next, we'll say, year and a half. And you can bet the fishermen are excited.
We've been needing lately. All the storms hitting all the time. You know, it's getting a little rough out here. You can tell it's kind of breaking down.
We just want to make it, like you said, safe, aesthetically pleasing, and just there for the community to come and anybody to come and tour.
Well, the folks at the city say Pleasure Island is a tourist destination, and in order to keep attracting visitors, it's important to maintain and preserve spots like that pier.